Yo, what's going on, Dragon Ballers? Welcome back to another deck profile. We are here with a special one. We're here with Mike, who took down the over-capped Otakon regional with none other than Blue Baby. Mike, what's going on, bro?
Nothing much, man. Just got back from DC late last night. It feels good to come off with a W from out of there.
Yes, it does, dude. And you came off the W with your tried and true baby deck. So here's the thing, Mike. Like, on the team, you have been coaching a lot of us into playing these like more control-y decks that a lot of us aren't used to playing. So with that in mind, you know, you pretty much came with the concept for Bulma, but you're still playing baby. So
Yeah.
just tell us real quick why baby.
Honestly, it's because last Nats everybody knows I play baby. It's like my favorite deck of all time in the game. Last Nats I played Hatchiat because I thought I had good matchups against Surge Cell and the format, and I wanted to play Blue Baby really bad, but I just couldn't beat Surge Cell. And I regretted not playing Blue Baby, so I told myself that until Blue Baby does me wrong in a tournament, I'm gonna just keep on playing it. Like, I'm not gonna go off of what I want to play.
Awesome, man. And it obviously worked out real well for you. So let's go through the main deck. Lots of people want to see it. Leader's pretty obvious. Start with the field card and play, and the field card Planet Tuffle lets you reduce cost, but let's just go over the errata real quick. Basically, if you have a battle card in play, you cannot reduce the cost of your counters. So I know that you've told us many times that this is like pretty much irrelevant for you. Just maybe explain that a little bit for the people watching.
Okay, so I think it's irrelevant because most of the cards in your floodgates, they leave the board. Oceanus is a blocker, Vegeta Ready to Rumble is a blocker, and Gohan's a servant. So you just eat it with your Overlord effect, right? So in the early stages of the game, it's fine. And in the later stage of the game, you have so much energy that it ends up not mattering. And the way I had the deck built for like this tournament, you'll see that I have an abundance of energy while playing. So it never mattered at any point, really, once you get to the later game.
Yes, even one game where Mike forgot to put the field card in play, it was still irrelevant.
I did win a game without the field spell and top cut without the field spell. Yeah,
that's so
big
funny.
error on my part.
Awesome. All right, so for the obvious stuff, 4 Zenos, 4 Boo. I definitely think you'd agree to saying that Zeno is the best super combo for a deck like this.
Yeah, it's the best. It's untap without untap, and it lets extend your hand. Every card you've ever charged is part of your hand, so that's just really good.
All right, then we have the 4 God Sealing, of course. What's crazy too is like God Sealing searchable in this deck. That's insane. For our floodgates, we have 4 Baby's Minion, 4 Ready to Rumble, 3 Oceanus. So, question about Baby's Minion. Obviously, Red's pretty popular right now, but even besides Red, there are just lots of answers to either 3 cost or less floodgates or 15k or less floodgates, which Gohan happens to be. So, was Gohan really that effective, or did you kind of just have to play it because it's searchable and it's a servant and that kind of thing?
I personally don't like Gohan very much this format, but it's a necessary evil. You need the extra floodgate right in your deck, right? And in the early stages of the game, it's very good. Like, turn 3, you have 3 energy up. They're putting you to 4. They sometimes have extra attackers, but if you Gohan them, they either are going to use like a Raid Rumble or whatever, and that's cool because now you don't have a battle card on board, and you still have 1 open energy to Revenge Big Bang, and you're still going to get out of these attacks, right? And you kept you kept the Gohan if it's a bounce effect one, or but if it's Ready to Rumble, not Ready to Rumble, but Renewed Resolve, it puts it in the drop. And I don't mind that exchange. That's like a fine exchange to me. So.
Yep. Gotcha. And then Oceanus, I mean, it falls prey to the same counterplays for the most part, but it's just so punishing that I don't know if I don't know who really plays Baby nowadays, but would you say most Baby decks include this now, or you think it's just something they'll catch on with?
Yeah. Oddly, I played the mirror match in round 10 at Otakon. We both had Oceanus in our deck. I think it's mandatory. 3 to 4. I went with 3 for this list. I do like 4 though most of the time. My standard list normally has 4.
Gotcha. All right, so moving on, we also have SSG Goku Miraculous Transformation. So I don't know. Normally, I feel like this card's very hard to play if you're not like SS3 Reboot or like SS4 Vegeta. But if whoever saw the title of this video knows that we're playing some ramp cards in this deck. But overall, I mean, how effective was this guy for you in the baby deck?
It's fine. Like I said, like you play it in the later stages of the game. It's not an early stage card, right? You play it in the later stages, or you can play it on 3 if they've already attacked with their lead in their unison and they put you to 4. Then you can use it, and all their attacks have to go towards it, and like they're not going to attack through it at that point because it's going to cost too many cards. Because like Zeno's in your deck, and you have another card that just kind of punishes them for doing it. It's straight. I said in the past I didn't like the card, but now I like it because the format's slow enough where I need something that picks at unisons. So just like 3 markers off of unison is pretty good.
Gotcha. All right, we also have Baby Hatch, of course. Now for our just like straight up negates, we have 4 D Magic, 4 Big Bang Attack, and 4 Goku Saiyan Synergy. So the first 2 are obvious, but this card is a 4 of definitely surprises me. Why don't you talk about it a little bit?
All right, so I've never played the card in a tournament, like a regional level tournament, until this weekend. I wanted to try it out. It's like mean, in my opinion, like for the deck. I negate, it's in rest mode, and you're either going to attack it, which I want. I don't want to get attacked by my leader, so that's cool. So it's a double negate. Or if you attack my leader, I just bean my leader, and I can still negate to get the bean. So you go negate, and then put him at the bottom of your deck as the defensive auto. So I just stopped another attack, and now I'm a 20k.
Did anyone actually ever let that happen, or they always just attacked into it the second time?
It happened several times.
Oh, that's very weird. But I mean, I guess it worked out for you. It's pretty good, huh?
Yeah, I think they don't have the cards, right? Like you don't have the attacks really. Honestly, when you think about when you play against a baby, if I don't do it early, I do it like turn 4, turn 5, turn 6, right? I have more negates, so do you really want to waste one of your attacks at that? What if I negate it?
True, that's a fair point. It's a fair point. And then the one Child's army, I guess one was just fine. Did you wish you had more, or was it okay?
I wish I had less.
Oh, it's not good.
Yeah, I was never in a situation where I needed it. It was like it's a good card, like very good card. All the blocker negates are good. But I just never was in a situation where it came up.
Got it.
So
then we have the one Dirty Burst. So I know you mentioned you wish you had more of this, right?
yeah, I wish I had more Dirty Burst. I wish that Chill's army was a Dirty Burst. Like,
okay, so that's a straight up swap to make then.
Yeah.
2 God Slicing Kamehameha. Okay, so this is a card that I don't know if this card's ever been in a topping blue deck, but real quick, it's a counterplay. You have to have a blue unison in play. You draw 1, which is kind of wild, and then if the opponent's playing a battle card 4 or less, goes to the bottom of the deck, and then you can activate it for free by pitching 2. And I've never been a fan of these counterplays that like you have to pitch 2 to use them for free, even though that is free tempo. Pitching 2 is a lot of a cost, but this drawing 1 back actually makes it a lot better. So why did you decide to include this in your main board?
I respect to the Bulma matchup, and respect to anybody just like playing weird cards. I don't feel like dealing with, to be honest. Like there's a lot of weird cards in the format that are 4 and under, and this card just takes care of them. So I was like, yeah, this is a good pick for that. And like I pay 2 for it a lot. I never pitched one time all weekend. I've pitched in like locals and stuff, but in the tournament I never pitched. Just paid my 2 because I never use my energy offensively unless like I'm trying to do something. So.
Yeah, that makes sense in Baby for sure. I could definitely see that. 2 Golden Avenger, obviously just one of the best blue cards. Now here's where we get to the Super Spice. So you decided to add SS4 Vegeta Rise of the Super Warrior to your Baby deck. You talked to us on the team about it maybe 3-4 weeks ago, and you said it was absolutely cracked. Why don't you just talk about it a little bit?
All right, so this card is the MVP of the deck. Like it's the whole reason why I went to Otakon. I just wanted to test this card out before Gen Con. I've been playing a lot of SS4 because I like that deck a lot, and I did think it's a better deck than Baby in the format. So, and their best card is this card. It like gets their strategy going. So I was like, what if I tried this card in Baby? And drawing 4 cards in Baby is broken. Getting 4 additional energy in Baby is broken. Like in every aspect, like what that card does is very good for Baby. Like it's a 30k blocker. It's hard to clear, honestly. A lot of decks can't clear it. So it's a blocker that stays on the board for most of the game. So I liked it a lot. It was 10 out of 10, perfect card for the deck.
So with only 2, did you ever kind of like miss it when you needed it, or you just always happen to have it on 2 or on 6 whenever you needed it?
The beauty of it is you don't need it to win because we've played Baby without it in 1 games, right? So it's like a bonus when you draw it.
Gotcha.
You know?
So you kind of keep it at 2 copies, and just if I hit it, cool. If I don't, it's fine.
If I was gonna play the 3rd copy, I would have to cut a card out of my deck list, which is doable. I just need to figure out what it would be, to be honest. So,
gotcha. All right. So for bombs, we have 2 King Cold. We have Android 17 turning the tide. And we also have Kale Rampaging Demon. So I mean, I think these are just pretty standard blue bombs. I don't know. There's really much to say here. And then the 2 Sand Instincts. I know for a little bit you took it out of the deck, you put it back in. It's a great pitch target off Oceanus, stuff like that. Being the only non-blue card, I think doesn't really conflict much with Rise of the Super Warrior, so I'm sure that's fine, right?
Yeah, it and Oceanus. I had 5 non-blue cards on a 54 card deck. The map says that I'm more likely to just hit 4 blues than not most of the time. There were a couple times I lost count after 3. I think it happened like 1 or 2 more times, but I'd stopped caring. You know, it was 19 games I had to play, so I just stopped caring. But it was fine. I normally keep every off-color card in my opening hand when I see them, so it's not a big deal.
That makes sense because they're good early, right? So like, yeah, keep Oceanus early, keep Great Ape Goku early. That's good. So that's the main board. Let's go down to the side deck, and I'll just kind of let you just run us through the sideboard. Let us know what matchups they're for.
All right. There's Kami. Kami's for yellow mainly and red. Like Trunks Vegeta builds a big board, has cards that are annoying like Son Goku Annihilation. So you need to clear those cards, right? And blue has a hard time with barrier removal. So Kami is a good answer. Anything against red, they just have a board and you want to get rid of it. It's also usable against Gamma though. It cleans up everything but their cell. So if they overextend into you, just Kami their board away. They don't, they don't really rebound correctly. And then there's Deborah. That's for Cooler and for Android 16 because they all play Fused Deities Zamasu in their deck. And then also I bring it in against Cell Reboot just in case I don't have an answer to the Cell. But Jiren's for Blue decks, Turning Tide, obviously. I never once used Jiren all weekend. I brought it in all the time, but never used it. The two Beeruses are for blue matchups that play East Kai for Gogeta Zeno and with their little Saiyan bullets.
Yeah, and East Kai got to be a big problem sometimes.
Yeah, East Kai a huge problem. It's part of the reason why I lost game 2 in top 8. But it's good removal. It's like it's on color and it's effective because Gohan Piccolo is also very good, but it's off color and just feels bad sometimes. Heroic Prospect, the card sucked. It was not very good. I will be taking it out of my deck in the future. Same thing for UI Goku. I thought I would need it, but I never need it. The deck just has enough answers where I'm not looking for that as an answer. The Go Tanks is also for blue and red, but it's also for yellow, clear annihilation. But I had to get Miraculous Transformation off the board when my opponent plays it. The combo, the SS3 combo of playing the Golden Avenger when you swing with it, I just don't want it on the board. So when they play it on my attack, I normally just play this guy, remove it off the board. And then Tragedy Overground is for the Mirror Match, SS4, Sin Shinron, anything that plays a lot of 4 and overs. Like their deck is 4 and over mostly. This card's crazy. This paired with Vegeta, perfect.
Excellent. So you mentioned some cards that you would take out of the sideboard. Anything you are thinking about putting in, or not quite yet?
I'm thinking about adding some like additional battle cards that aren't counters. Like I'm thinking about Great Saiyan Man. I'm thinking about playing. Well, I guess Vegeta the Interceptor is a counter. I'm thinking about playing Vegeta the Interceptor.
Yeah.
There's a couple things like that I'm looking at. I also was looking at bringing a Boonie back. I know that's an old one, but I felt like a lot of time a Boonie would have been pretty good turn 6, turn 7. So especially turn 6 with off of the SS4. I was like, that's a lot of pressure you can just apply real fast. So I want to experiment before Gen Con with those things, and I'll figure it out.
Cool, man. Well, once again, huge congrats, man. I really think this is your format. So any shout-outs you want to throw out there?
I want to start off with shout out to the sponsors, Mystic TCG and DBS Deck Planet. They sponsored a team. I won't say we wouldn't be a team without them, but they greatly help us be a team, And then shout out to the team. Everybody helped me play test the deck, and not lately. No one wants to play this baby now. We all figured it out, but they've helped me get to the point where I'm like, I know what I'm doing with the deck against every type of matchup. And shout out to my local guys. They came out and had like 14, 15 people from my area show up to Otakon, so that was cool to see my local guys out of the event. And then also shout out to John Patterson and PPG for running a solid event. So that's it for my shout outs.
Awesome, man. So we will see you at Gen Con, and I'll see you guys in the next video.